Hey guys, Mac here.
Hey, and Carl.
And today we are actually on the road. We are in Lakeland, Florida, and we are going to Game Addict, which is the Lakeland Mall, which is the mall here in Lakeland. It's called Game Addict. It's a retro video game store, and we're gonna go on a game hunt, see if they let us film in there, take a peek at the store, and maybe pick up some games. Carl, what are you looking for?
I don't know what I'm looking for. Something cheap because I'm broke right now.
Right, I feel you on that. But no, they definitely got a lot of good games, reasonably priced. Some games they're asking a little too much for, but they definitely do have some that are, reasonably priced. And not only, the thing is too, is like they know collector value, they know collector's price, but they seem like they're pretty legit, and they're pretty well. So we're just about there. We got a few more minutes. Been driving for a while already because it's about
2 hours.
2 hours from where we live. So this morning I met up with Carl, and then we started heading out here. So we'll get a scene in the store if they let us film.
So something that I first noticed whenever we walked in Game Time was the selection. I looked around and there were PS4 games, there were Wii games, there were Nintendo games, there were Super Nintendo games, there were Genesis, there were Atari. I mean, there were every console available at Game Time, and that just amazed me. And then when I started to look at the different console games, and I started seeing some that I had forgotten about, I thought that was really cool.
So Carl and I went up to Lakeland today. We went to the Game Addict, which is a retro video game store where you can buy and trade games. And honestly, I've been up there a couple of times, and when I first went in there, I thought I went to heaven because they had awesome games. I bought a lot of my games from there, my old games. For example, my Lethal Enforcer with a light gun, box copy of Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition, and my Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Which I talked about in one of our earlier videos for our game pickup. So I automatically love this place.
What I didn't like about it was the prices. The prices were really high. Like we had said, they were basically selling them at collector's prices. I had saw Super Mario Kart. I've been wanting Super Mario Kart for a while, but they were selling it for $40, and I don't want to spend $40 on a retro game because I know I can find it cheaper other places. I could probably go on eBay and find it for 10 or 15. Like I saw that they had Mega Man X there. They were charging $40 for Mega Man X. I got it at the pawn shop for like 10. So I like going in there and looking at the selection, but I don't want to pay the prices because I see, all these games, and there were games that I'd forgotten about. Like there was a Super Nintendo game called, it was like an off-road racing game. I forget the name of it, but it was originally an arcade game. It was these trucks, and they'd kind of race around the track, and it was like an overhead view. And I'd forgotten about that game, but I really liked that game. And that was kind of neat about the store, being able to just see the variety. Because if I go online looking, I maybe only remember a few names of games because my memory it sinks. Too many years of partying and bad stuff and whatnot. And so be able to look at a selection and say, oh, I remember that game. I'd forgotten about that, but I really remember that. Like, I had picked up that South Park game for N64. I totally forgot about that game, but I saw it and I was like, I remember how much I enjoyed playing that as a kid. So, like, if we wouldn't have went to Game Addict, I probably would have never thought about getting that game. So that was really cool, but the prices are a big turnoff. So that's kind of why I only got games that were like $7, $9 a piece, because I don't really like to pay above $15. I know I can find it other places cheaper.
Again, I think I think Carl agrees with me on this point. The pricing is a little too high. They know their market, they know their audience. But a lot of the games that they're charging for, they're charging like retail collector's price, like what the games are actually worth. Which I understand, you know, it's a business, they're trying to make money. But just for an example, this right here, I have the Adventures of Batman and Robin on Super Nintendo. And this game is an awesome game. It's an amazing game. This was like a very popular cartoon series back in the day. But they had this copy like saran wrapped with the price tag of $131.95. I picked this game up. Admittedly, I paid like $30 for it. But it was one of my favorite games and I wanted a hard copy of it. I didn't want to emulate it, I want an actual copy. So I paid the $30. No way will I pay $131 though for it, because that's just ridiculous. But they do have like an amazing selection. Like we were in the store for, I'd say, about 2 hours. Just about, right, Carl? Yeah, about 2 hours. So it's an awesome store. I mean, I like it a lot. The guys, they're really cool. And they're really knowledgeable on their stuff too. Like we were picking something up. I ended up picking up a copy of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater for the N64, and I mean it was $9. I couldn't, you know. It was. I remember picking up that game from Blockbuster, renting it at Blockbuster and playing it. So definitely picked it up. And the guy was knowledgeable about it. He's like, he's like, now you have a memory card, right? Because you need it in order to save for this stuff. And I'm like, oh. I'm like, yeah, I do. And if I didn't, you know, he said we had, you know, they had some for sale for like $5. But other than that, I mean, Game Addict, it's an awesome store. Just wishing the pricing was a little better. Maybe next time I go over there, I'll bring some of my games and see if we can do like some barter trade and see if that'll work. But you never know. A collector's always willing to trade out for something else. Like for example, the guy was saying he didn't have any. They had tons of Dreamcast, but they didn't have any Dreamcast games. Barely any Dreamcast games. So maybe bring some of those with some of my Dreamcast games. Like, hey, I got a couple Dreamcast games here if you want to trade for, you know, let me get this copy of Legend of Zelda, even though I already have it. But, you know, or for Super Nintendo, I'll get the Links to the Past, and I'll give you, you know, Resident Evil 2 for Dreamcast. Something like along the lines of that. But Game Addict, it was awesome. It was a fun time. Definitely want to go back when I have some more dinero, because definitely a lot of stuff I want to pick up.